Now, the Lagos state government has reignited the spirit of Afro-Brazilian heritage with the vibrant revival of the Fanti Carnival, a festival long woven into the cultural fabric of Lagos Island. This is a carnival rooted in the 19th century history of Afro-Brazilian returnees, which celebrates Lagos' multicultural legacy through colorful costumes, traditional music, and high-energy performances. The carnival has evolved into a symbol of unity and identity. Its vibrant revival marks a significant milestone in preserving Lagos' multicultural legacy. As Lagos continues to grow and modernize, our cultural stories must not be lost. Joining us in the studio for this conversation is a Nigerian documentary photographer, Dayo Adedayo. Good morning. It's good to have you join us.
Oh, hi, good morning. Good to see you once again after a
It's
very
been
long
ages.
time.
It's been ages. But anyway, you're here now, and let's talk about the Fanti Carnival, its revival, what it means for Lagos State, and you documenting it. Tell us about it through the eyes of a documentary photographer.
Oh, good morning once again.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right.
The first thing I would say is I have to thank the governor, Mr. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, for finding it very well to get a commissioner, Mrs. Toke Benson Awoyinka, because people do not know what goes on behind the scenes, and you can see that there's a revival of tourism in Lagos State, and it's one of the team's agenda of the government. Even though I'm not in government, I'm not a politician, and I'm just a documentary photographer, and we just have to document what is on ground. And I will give kudos to the governor because the last one I think was in 2010. And what they are trying to do, Nigerian economy, and what people do not realize about, it's not just festival. We shouldn't be looking at Fanti as a Fanti Carnival festival or anything like that. It goes beyond that. Yeah. It's more on the economy. Okay. Yes. So when you look at the welder, look at all the colors, the fabrics that were used. So people selling fabrics will make money, tailors will sew, welders will costumes here and there, food vendors and stuff, So it's more on the economic side. And I think the Ministry of Wealth Creation as well, at a point, is going to be involved in all these things. So coming to Fantis now, there has been festival. We don't do tourism in Africa, but we do festivals. Yeah. And according to the head of the Eco Waro Association, they've been doing the festival long before the Brazilian returnees. So it started in the 18th century. So by the time the Afro-Brazilians returnees came, they're only doing it in their own enclave. Different colors, they came with the samba. But before they came here, our people has been using gong-gong, Iyailu, all this omele. Yeah. Thank you. Were you a drummer before? Ogbedu and all these things. So they've been doing their festivals because they worship the different gods. So they do that yearly. Then the Afro-Brazilians now came back. That's right. And at a point, it ventured out of their own community to go to the local community on Lagos Island, Olówógbowó, Faji, Okepopo, Campus Square, with different traditional clothings and, fanciful stuff, which were new then in the 19th century. Because the ones they do here prior before that were just festivals to worship the gods, enjoy themselves. But this now came with different colors, fabrics, and stuff like that.
How was it documenting it as a documentary photographer?
Personally, for me, when the commissioner called me, the commissioner for tourism, arts and culture, Mrs. Toke Benson Awoyinka, I said, oh, beautiful, because I have a new book coming out this year I think it's about 7 or 8 years I last published a book, you know, and I said, oh, fantastic. And I have one on Lagos State as well that I've been working on for the past 14 years. It's going to be a very, very comprehensive book. And Lagosians, Nigerians will be very proud of it. I just said, oh, fantastic, I'm coming. And immediately, because that was my first time actually attending the Carnival, the Fanti Carnival, because I was on the mainland, it's an island thing. But now they are trying to make it global. There was even the Chinese dance and stuff like that, which meant that they are attracting more people. So getting there, I was amazed because it's not different from what you see in Brazil. And you can fact check me. Last year, Brazil made $1 billion from the Rio Carnival. So I could see Lagos, I mean, if they could start with $100 million, which is going to impact the economy, the local economy, and before you know it, if 10, 15 states can bring up such things in the country, I mean, we have the Calabar Carnival as well. I mean, we'll be talking of economy here, you know, we don't have to rely on oil and gas, technology, or anything. But as a documentary photographer, we have to record our civilization. And unfortunately, we don't keep records in this country, right? Because like this now, there should have been up some archival pictures that should have shown. From the archival pictures, the generation now can design some costumes, see and tell a story of how these things are, and that is where I come in as a documentary photographer.
Okay, coincidentally, I'm from Cross River State, and I was lucky enough to be part of the team that started the Calabar Carnival, you know, and I know that it brings so much money. So let's talk about the economics of having reviving the Fanti Carnival and why it should be really globalized and covers the whole of Lagos. The whole of Lagos should be part of this thing, because the bigger the carnival, the better the funds that comes in.
That's right.
Let's talk about that a bit.
Yeah, you know, it's like a little drops of water that makes a mighty ocean. Now they've started, and if you look at what the administration of Mr. Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu is trying to do, because I had a long time to talk with the commissioner. So what they are trying to do with their water intramodal transport system in the state, next year they said it's going to be completely different, because this is the first time after 15 years. And gosh, were you guys there?
No.
Oh,
I didn't even know about it. So when I read about it, I said, hey, so something like this happened.
It was organized in such a way that there wasn't much disruption to traffic. And it went on for 2 days, actually. Sunday and Monday. The Sunday was the government one, and the Monday one on the Easter bank holiday was the Brazilian one, you know, that went up to about 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. Yes, you know, we have pictures of all this, you know. So, economy, government is trying to make sure that the red line will bring people as well from Alagbado all the way down. So if you are coming from Badagry area, you go on the blue line, because everything stops in Marina, and it's just a walking distance. I parked my car somewhere in Marina to walk down, which was part of the experience. And they are trying to, the commissioner said they are trying to use this 1 square mile of Lagos Island is full of historical relics. From the State House that was built in 1864, the presidential one that was built in 1864. So it's not just about carnival now. It's more of about people saying things they've never seen before.
That's right.
Like on the Sunday that I went, it was my first time of entering King's College, because the float started from King's College. So I have to go in to take some pictures. And I was just looking at, wow, this is history.
Scenery,
you know, where board members, military generals, kings, you know, politicians of note went to, you know. So in terms of the economy, it's going to help the state. And what they are trying to do, according to the commissioner, is to have a full calendar year of tourist activities.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, when you started off, you also look at the internally generated revenue, that the opportunity that we can make from it. You also made allusion to the Calabar Festival. But one thing I'm worried about is, by the time we talk about this, we begin to look at commercialization of cultural events, which can sometimes lead to dilution of the cultural heritage and all of that. So what measures do you think we can put in place so that as we pass on this to the next generation, we are not looking at money and we are not looking at things that might impact on the authenticity and cultural value, because commodifying culture might be a problem on the other side as well?
I would not go that way, because time changes according to Olaritimi.
Yeah.
And the ways of men must change with time. Right? And we have to look at the commercialization as well, whether we like it or not. We can't be stuck in the old ways.
At the expense of dilution of the...
No, they're not going to dilute anything. Right. You see, come for the cultural show, you still see, they're even thinking farther than you are thinking, because there's going to be a museum and archival things for all these things. Now people just come, see, dance, go, and that's the end of it. But going further, she's thinking further of how they're going to preserve all these things, right, so that for future generations, we're talking about 18th, 19th century, in another 100 years, people who are coming then will be able to see what we did.
How things were.
Yeah, in the 21st century of Lagos, But when we look at our economy, and one good thing about tourism is, no matter how bad you are, you can have, in our days we use A1 to F9. You can have 8 F9 and still make a success out of tourism. And tourism is the largest employer of labor. It is a soft way of getting the economy going.
Yeah.
This is my first time on TV, the new studio here.
State of the art. Add state of the art to
it. But something is missing.
What is missing?
Yeah, something is missing here.
What's missing?
You've become an institution. That should have been a museum. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you guys are writing your history.
That's right.
Right? There should have been a museum. This is a new building.
That's right.
Attached to the building for people to come. That's tourism. So you just don't base your income on adverts or any other subtle way of making money.
We also have a facility visit. We have students and people coming from different walks of life to see things that we have on the ground.
They should start from the museum. And they don't have to come in here. I don't know the design of the place, because
we'll take you around after the show.
I was opportune to be at CNN.
Right.
News was going on live in Atlanta, and at the end of the day, I saw the way the things are, but you don't have access inside the newsroom, but you can see them through a glass, sample glass. So what I'm looking at is money, employment, because if Fanti become very successful at the Rio Carnival, at least 1 month prior to the Carnival, a lot of people will be busy.
Right.
So people can make money for 2 months, what they will not make in 1 year.
Yes.
And not just that alone. Don't forget that by September, Lagos State is starting Dirty December.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes,
so
in September, so everything is interwoven.
Into
So by next year, according to the commissioner, they're going to have a calendar, whole year calendar, so everybody globally can book their holiday. Right. Because now for this one, a lot of people called me from abroad to say, oh, when is the next one happening? Because they could remember their young days when they
Yes. Now, I'm sure that Lagos State borrowed a little from the revenue generated from Dirty December last year, and so they're looking at ways of exploring the culture, tradition within Lagos State. But how has documenting this Fanti Carnival changed your perception of Lagos State, perhaps Nigeria, our culture? Because a lot of persons too, like they are calling you from abroad now saying, oh, when is the next one? And maybe some persons like me, who is not originally a Lagosian, I might just learn a thing or two by seeing your pictures and wanting to be a part of this. But how is that going to change the mindset of a lot of people towards Lagos?
First of all is visuals. The more you see a picture, the more you want to gyrate towards it. All of us seated here must have visited over 100 cities in the world without stepping into it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Everybody wanted to go to America. Why? Because of all the Hollywood movies we've been watching. The Nigerians want to sing like America because of the culture and the songs we listen to.
Yeah.
Now Nigeria have overtaken America in music.
Yeah.
Now Hollywood they're catching up with Hollywood. Same thing applies to what I'm doing as a documentary photographer. So how will it, to answer your question straight, the book that I'm working on will be my best work so far. That when you buy it and you see the presentation, the narratives, the history, because it's not just looking at pictures. You read the history, how it all started, and not just that alone, the names of the original Lagosians, all the names, the family names, will be listed in the book. So that is an interest on its own. And for people to now go into this, they want to look at, oh, when is the next one coming? And if you can see what is going on within the country now, creatives are making waves in the country without a penny or effort by any government. You are now seeing festivals. Lishabi just did his own. Ojidioba is there. Ofala is there in Onitsha. The only the challenge we have now is up north, where the Doba politics cancelled. A lot of people book hotels and their travels just to come and watch the Doba. Then Arugungu Festival, due to the security challenges we are having, is not taking place. But the moment all these things, the security challenges we are having, goes down a little bit, Nigeria could be transformed in less than 4 years. And people will just be wondering, why haven't we done this? Without the Banj and Don Jazzy, and prior to the Banj and Don Jazzy, Kenny Ogungbe, and
Kenny's music,
and Dayo Adedayo, it won't be where we are today. So people like Dayo Adedayo are the John the Baptist of the creatives in Nigeria, that people coming behind us will be able to do things fantastic, and people will just be wondering, so where have we been all this year? Because those things are there already. You don't have to spend money. All that you need to do is just to push, just like the music industry and the film industry that we have in Nigeria today.
You know, earlier on you said like a month to Fanti festival, people will be busy. It's going to be much, much longer than that. It's going to be much, much longer than that. Like, I want to use the Calabar Carnival that I know of as a model to ask you this question. Right now, preparations for the Calabar Carnival starts in January, you know, and it keeps gaining momentum until it gets to December. What are the plans, Lagos State's plan, to sell Lagos State through this carnival? Is there a website somewhere? Are they talking to partners abroad? We would like to know that, because this thing is bigger than what we think. When we started the Calabar Carnival, it was a small two-street thing, and today is worldwide. Now, I would love to see a situation where that happens in Lagos. So what are those plans to spread this thing further than just Lagos and West Africa?
Luckily for me, I was with the commissioner 2 or 3 days ago. Yeah, 3 days ago. I was in our office, and we had a lengthy time to talk not just about the Fanti, because one thing I usually tell her whenever we are on the phone is, you've put yourself in a terrible situation. One, Mr. Governor is on your neck.
Yes.
Two, you've started something that you yourself do not know what is going to happen. So what is happening after this Fanti festival? Due to the social media impact, a lot of people, a lot of companies are coming in now.
Exactly.
And I think she's going to set up one of the, I'm not in government.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just a photographer. And no, I'm not a politician. I'm not in government. But because of the kind of work that I do, and I usually get my permission from the highest authority, because Nigeria is the most difficult place to photograph in the world. If you don't believe me, let any photographer come to TVC now.
That's right.
He will be arrested. Why are you photographing now?
Yeah.
TVC?
We see a lot of that.
Yeah, you know. Right. So what she said was they are working on the next one. They're setting up a committee very soon. How they're going to, because if you look at this very one that they did, where they had the venue itself was very small, because they were not expecting that much crowd. Yes, so the turnout was heavy, which she was very proud. The governor was very happy. Right. And I think in one of the first lady was just dancing, because the first lady is a Brazilian descendant. The governor too is a Brazilian descendant. Yeah, the first lady, Karena, the governor, Cole, you know. So there is this blood, and blood is thicker than water. So they are looking at a way of making it where they will use the 1 mile square road, so people can go through all those historical places around Lagos Island, you know, to be able to not just sell the Fanti, not just for people to enjoy themselves, but for people to see the beauty of Lagos, because I need the people
know the history
of those places.
Yeah.
So the next one, I think, is going to blow people's mind.
I think probably we need to check our genealogy so that we'll know where we really are from.
I don't have a problem with mine.
But then, do you not feel that the rebranding of the One Lagos Fiesta into a one-day, kind of Greater Lagos Festival could probably raise concerns for local artists, especially in the events and other pressing social needs, like talking about allocation of, resources to that, could affect the opportunities for local artists and vendors?
I don't know the plans of the government, but what I know is that competing, what is it called now, my brain, money for other sectors of the economy, of government. Roads are there to tackle, education, health. You can't just spend everything on entertainment. But having said that, I think they are planning not just for one day now. I think it was meant to be 5 days or so in the Ibile of Lagos. And do you know the full meaning of Ibile? No. Oh, really?
It's an acronym.
Yeah, it's an acronym.
Ibile means nativity in English.
No. Ibile in Lagos is Ikeja. Badagry.
Okay, Badagry.
Ekpe. Lagos.
Lagos?
Yeah, Lagos is Lagos Island.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Lagos
because I felt
Lagos
everything
Island.
came together to become Lagos.
But quickly, do you have any favorite picture or moment that you captured that you could just describe for us in a few seconds? Because we are wrapping up.
Yes. Lagos is really going on. There's these children with disability that I saw. They're very happy. One of them he could not talk. He was just moving his body,
To the music.
To the music. And I took several pictures of him, maybe about 20 or 30 pictures of him.
Oh.
Nobody have seen that. That's coming in my book.
That's it.
So the picture everybody saw, I've actually not from my camera.
Oh, okay.
So any picture posted on social media,
and not from your camera.
And not from my cameras.
I'd like to see the pictures.
There are pictures from my mobile
captured.
phone. Because you can use mobile phone to do anything.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. We could see beautiful pictures on our screens.
We look forward to
Yeah, they are from my mobile phone, not from my cameras.
Our time is up. We must thank you, documentary photographer Dayo Adedayo, for your time on the program, and well done on what you do. We look forward to that book you're writing.
You will be the first to know. Don't worry. And aside from the book, quickly, 30 seconds, there is something coming, first of its kind in Africa. that where you can relive Calabar Carnival live, a massive experience, where you can relive the Fanti Carnival live that I'm building. And it's immersive. It's not far away from here. I'll give to VC.
Thank you once again. All right, still to come on the program, party loyalties will face the test of time as 2027 general election draws closer. This will be up for discussion shortly. Stay with us.